So, Forest have signed Douglas Luiz. We know him from his time in the Premier League and how good he was, but there's been a lot of talk about his time in Italy and in specific about Juventus. So we got our friend Ali on to tell us all about him. Let's get into it. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to this special edition Scout Report over with our good friend Ali from Bianconeri Zone. Am I saying it right, Ali? Is that how it's?
Yeah, it's okay.
Do I need to put a little more Italian into it?
It's perfect.
Fantastic. Guys, please do me a massive favor. Ali's link is pinned in the title. It's that blue bit in the title. All you have to do is click there, subscribe, because we're going to get some real in-depth information about Douglas Luiz tonight. I'm sure Ali won't mind taking some questions from you guys as well, so get them in the chat. But please do subscribe. As always, you guys are huge supporters to anyone that comes on here and gives us their time and their insight. So show some appreciation and make sure you subscribe there. Obviously, make sure you're subscribed here and hit the like button as well. Ali, firstly, bro, thank you so much for your time, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I'm doing well, because Douglas Luiz moving out maybe means we start doing some business, and it's about time because we need it. We desperately need it.
You guys are like not the Juve I remember at the moment, bro. There's like, it feels like some changes are needed there.
The thing is, we had too many changes. That's the issue. Like, this is the third management in about 5 years, so that's kind of part of the problem. And many mistakes, costly mistakes, like Douglas Luiz, is setting us back. And it's just a hope right now that we start doing the right things. But we need to move out players, and Douglas Luiz was one of them, and we moved them out. However, yeah, I mean, the deal is not what fans were expecting. It's
crazy.
Another issue.
Yeah. I want to come on to that, but should we start from the beginning? Because obviously you guys signed him from Villa for 50 million euros, I believe the price was, last summer. And he would have, I'm sure, come with a big reputation because he was doing real good at Villa. There was talks of him moving to Arsenal. I know Edu was after him as well while he was at Arsenal. The whole kind of build up into the transfer, was it something that you guys as fans needed at Juventus with Douglas Luiz? How was the general feeling of it to start with, bro?
I mean, like, personally, I still like Douglas Luiz, so I'm not gonna say many bad things of that, but we didn't need Douglas Luiz. But at the time, we didn't know what the idea was. We knew what kind of a budget was. We needed a midfielder, but that was coal miners. We got coal miners in the end, and we needed Calafiori. That was the main guy. That was what Motta needed. That's what Motta demanded. And then we signed Douglas Luiz very early, and I think the entire fan base was confused. Like, nobody knew what was going on, and why are we signing Douglas Luiz when we knew we were getting coal miners at one point in the window, and everybody knew we needed Calafiori. Like, that was the main target. Those two players should be the main target. So we got Douglas Luiz. I was like, I like him, but we don't really need him. And then very early on, that was even before I will talk about what Motta, the coach at the time, thought about it. Aston Villa sporting director Monchi, I don't know if he's still there at this moment in time. He came out and he basically explained why that deal happened, and they needed to make money before the 30th of June it was.
PSR,
and that's it, because initially we agreed to pay Villa and send McKennie over there, but McKennie refused to play for Villa, and everybody thought, okay, it's collapsing. And then a day later they were like, sure, we take Iling Jr. and Barnechea, who they send out on loan immediately. So this was about cleaning up the books for Villa, and maybe a little bit for us, because we got very clean money for 2 youth players, like clean money that we also needed. And at the time when that news came out, I was like, this is not going into the good direction already, because we have a player in the squad right now that we didn't really bring in because we needed him, or quality. Yeah, he's quality, but it was more of an opportunity and not a necessity. And I mean, when you start like that, it's already a bad start to begin with.
Yeah, and you had Turam in there, who I really like. He's a huge monster of a player as well. So I see what you're saying there. It felt like more of a market opportunity. Villa needed to sell because PSR or FFP, whatever anyone's calling it these days. But when he arrived, because when we look at the amount of games he played, it was very limited. I assume he wasn't able to just break straight into the team when he arrived at all, because he's played like 13 games in total, only starting 2.
Yeah, I mean, like preseason, he played all the games. He didn't play the first game of the season, or opener, which was weird. The second one, not as well. Then you got to start against Empoli. I think the fourth game of the season, and he disappeared. He missed 13 games, I think, in the league alone with injury, which is also crazy because he was injury free at Villa. And he struggled with injuries at us. And it's not, I don't think you should worry about that because a lot of players struggle with injuries. We cleaned up the medical room this summer, which is, I think, already like a new signing for us because a lot of players do struggle with that with us. And, you'll bring up something, I don't know when in the show, which he talked about as well.
Well, when you want
will
it,
come
bro,
out.
whatever you think's the right time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that was when Tudor already arrived, so I wanted to wait with that, or like there was a switch, but he didn't play because he wasn't fit at the beginning. He was fit, excuse me, and I don't know why he didn't really got opportunities. What I do know why he wasn't playing is that Colt Miners was Malta's main guy. He wanted Colt Miners, he wanted Calafiori. He didn't get Calafiori. He did get Colt Miners. It was always it was always going to happen that Colt Miners was going to play, And like you said, Turan, at the time we signed Turan, cool from Nice. Nobody knew what to expect, and he exploded. Like, he literally exploded. And he is right now our most important midfielder, more important than 60 million euros. Turan, Locatelli.
Do you want to like add him into the deal, bro? I wouldn't say no.
Nah. I mean, if we lose him, then like he's one of the 2-3 players I wouldn't sell, and all the other players I would actually sell at this club. But that didn't help him as well, not being a real coach signing, and then another player who the coach wanted exploding. Yeah, I mean, it becomes difficult for him as well. But that doesn't excuse the lack of game time at all. Whatever Juve fans will tell you, it's not correct, and something went wrong. And I really hope he comes out and explains that a little bit, because I want to know what happened behind the scenes, because something did happen, and it's not about quality.
Did he integrate with the other players? Okay, as far as you know, because like, did he get on with the rest of the team? I know we'll come on to the whole semi-strike that he did this summer where he didn't turn up for training camp, but was there ever any issues with the actual playing teammates at all that you guys were hearing of?
No, nothing. Like, not a beat. Usually these things get easily leaked in Italy, like really easily. But nothing. Like, it was great. Like, he worked. There was no, even though he wasn't playing, there were some rumors that he wasn't really happy, but nothing about not showing up or like not doing his best. He always did that. So nothing to worry about that at all.
Yeah. And then eventually, obviously Mata left and Igor Tudor comes in and replaces him. Was there a time there where it started to feel like, okay, new manager, fresh, slate for everyone? Did you ever get a chance when Tudor came in, or how was that period?
No, he didn't get a chance. Like, when Tudor came in, I mean, he came in with 9 games, and somehow he needed to pick up a team that got kicked out of the Coppa Italia, so the cup over there, against the B team of a relegation side. Got dunked on by Atalanta in the league, Fiorentina, PSV in the Champions League. So the team was down bad, really bad. And you bring in Tudor, who is an ex-player of this club, and it was like a different mindset. And he didn't really change much. He just kind of played with the same theme and just tried to motivate him, which he somehow did, because they picked himself up just enough to scrape top 4. But he didn't really make any changes, and nobody was expecting for Tudor to come in and be like, okay, with 9 games left, I'm gonna change like 3-4 positions. That was never going to happen. So we stick kind of with the same team, just trying to boost the confidence. So I mean, at the time, we already knew he's not going to stay, Douglas Luiz. We all, as a fan base, you knew it's done for him. It's completely done. And you can bring up the picture right now, because that was at the time. And he was, I don't know, he was joking about. He basically was streaming on Twitch, and a Villa fan came on and he said, Villa, and he said, I miss Villa, and Juve fans lost their minds.
Wow.
And then he had this to say. A fan lost, like, Italian fans are insane. So he said something, and this is his response, saying that he didn't came here for for the vibes. I do believe he wanted to play for us. I really do believe, because he accepted the offer first. Like the moment we made that offer, he accepted that. He didn't say I'm gonna wait on Arsenal or something. He said cool. So that's what he said, and then he said ask yourself why I never played 2 games in a row. And to be honest, I was one of those people asking myself, why is he not playing 2 games in a row? Then he also said, the media is like, oh, he's out of shape. And that was never true. The moment things go south in Italy, papers who are close to the club will bring up stuff. And if you follow Italian football good enough time, it's briefed, and he doesn't look out of shape. And that's what he basically saying. He said, I was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Why I'm not playing? Injuries, and even injuries, he said, it's not on me, basically. More things are to it, which that's what the entire fan base would agree on. But yeah, he lost it, at the time. And then he took that comment down, and he apologized as well, not face to face, but the media leaked it, or the
How long
club
ago was
leaked it,
this,
that he
Ali?
apologized.
How long ago was this?
It was April, at the end of April, like literally the last day of April, basically.
Just for those of you in the chat who can't see it, I'll just read it out quickly for you. By the way, there's 500 of you in here. Please do make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Ali's channel as well. It's in the title. Just make sure you go and click that now, because this is really important insight into Douglas Luiz and his time at Juventus, and why it sounds like it didn't work out. It doesn't sound like it was for footballing reasons. There was a lot of things going on. So this was this just from a did you say a Villa fan, or was it a
no, this wasn't it. It was like, it wasn't Twitch, and a Villa fan said, we miss you, and he said, I miss Villa. And that's when a Juve fan said, just here.
So the Juventus fans said, but did you come to Turin to post on Instagram or to play games? And Douglas Luiz bit back, and he said, I didn't come here just to post pictures. No one else has. And I want things to be different. I am here with a purpose. I listened to my heart when I arrived and decided to sign. Now I want your answer. Why didn't a purchase like mine place 2 straight games in this jersey? You can say what you want to the press later. Oh, Douglas is out of shape. Am I not fit? Played all preseason and played every game. I just had one of the best seasons of my career, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Injuries got me back, yes. But how long did I stay on the bench while I was healthy? Very much. These injuries were not normal. I've never been much of an injured player, but there are so many things that might have caused this that I'd rather not comment on. I will continue to do everything for this club, even if it's hard sometimes. It's not easy, but you can count on me. So just quickly, Ali, on the injuries, how many games? What was the injury to start with that they're kind of referring to?
Well, the club always described it as muscle injuries. He missed a total of 13 games in the league, and I think a couple, like 2, 3 maybe in the Champions League. So like a third of a season worthy of games he missed. So that's quite. It was a period when I think he missed like 5 games straight. And then he was fit for a couple, but it's like you said, when he was fit, he was still not getting a chance, and it wasn't fair. I will tell you that, because Colt Miners, for example, we paid 60 million for him, and he played like a 6 million euro player week in, week out, like literally. I don't know what happened, and he kept being played, and nobody had a clue why. And different positions, and McKennie, for example, like McKennie is one of those players that he will give you a period where a part of the fan base will be like, you see, that's the guy. And then the period kicks in where it's like, you see, he's not quality for this club, and he still kept playing him, for example. And
he went on loan
me,
to Leeds, didn't he, a couple of years ago? And he wasn't.
went on.
He was not good in the Premier League. I know Leeds were in a
Was no good.
relegation fight at the time. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if Leeds stayed up, he would have stayed at Leeds because that would have been an
Mm.
obligation. So we're unlucky, and now we're stuck with him. But these guys put in bad performances, and Douglas Luiz never played. What I didn't mention is he did had a brutal start to the season, or an unlucky start to the season, because
Two
at the time
penalties he didn't miss.
he got 2 opportunities. So Leipzig, he came on, and like a minute later, Di Gregorio, goalkeeper, picks up a red card. And it's a free kick, and the free kick gets taken, and he makes a handball. It's a pen. Now we do end up winning that game with 10 men, so cool, nothing to worry about. Then a couple of days later, we play Cagliari in the league. It's 1-0. Like, we're missing a lot of chances, but it's 1-0. And then he made a boneheaded last minute mistake in the box. Pen 1-1, game over. And I mean, that was a brutal couple of days for him. And yeah,
was that held against him from the fan base? Did the fan base kind of react negatively to that?
Yeah. Which, I mean, there were 2 stupid mistakes. Like, I'm not gonna say they weren't, but I mean, I was like, it had nothing to do with his ability. It was just he lost his head twice, and then a couple of months later, Locatelli does the same in the Supercoppa against Napoli, and we throw away leads, away to big teams where we were in total control. So it's not all on him, so I don't think that's fair, because I think he's a quality player. Like, I'm actually pissed that another Brazilian flopped at this club for some reason. All the Brazilians that join us flop. That's a bad match. But I'm actually pissed that he's gone already, and I've not seen anything, even though I watched Villa quite a lot, and I was one of the people saying we don't really need him, but now he's here. I'm excited because he's a quality player. And yeah, it's just frustrating. Even when we played him, we didn't play him in his best position as well.
I want to ask you that because we've been having the debate about his position. Me personally, I think he's an 8, a bit of a box-to-box player. A lot of my Villa friends that I speak to say he is. I think he can play as a CDM as well in the 6, and I think he's okay at it. But I think his strengths lie when he's kind of mobile up and down the pitch and can try and control that midfield. I don't know if you agree with that, and if you do or don't, but where were you using him in the limited times he got?
He was not.
Sorry, just to interrupt, you play a 3-4-3 these days, don't you? Is that your
now
formation?
with Tudor, this season that's our formation, and that's very interesting as well. Going back to where he played, he didn't play as a box-to-box, absolutely not. Even if that was on paper, he was not given those assignments. Serie A is also different. Like, it's not open like the Premier League. It's closed. If you play him a bit more deeper, he's useless. Like, he takes too many touches. He cannot play those balls over the top, and he's gonna struggle. It's gonna look like any player can do the job he does, and it's not gonna stand out. And the fan base is like, what is this? Did we pay 50 million for this? And that's not fair towards him. What is interesting is in preseason he played, scored his first goal for us actually as well. But he played well. But he played in Yildiz' position when Yildiz got subbed up, and Yildiz plays. Let's say he plays behind Jonathan David, behind our striker at this moment in time. And Tudor came out and he said, if I'm going to use Douglas Luiz, he said, that's the position I'm going to use him, because I think he's technically well. He has good vision. He can arrive in the box. He can create stuff. And I was like, where was this months ago? Like, where was all this? Now we kind of burn a player down for no good reason, because we are losing money, the player is losing value, the squad is not being helped, and now when he's leaving, you come out and you're like, bingo, I finally figured it out, So Tudor figured it out, but he was probably told by the club he's gone. Like, we were moving him on, so it's kind of pointless. So that is his best position. I would agree with that. but he didn't
Was
play.
that was
in those
against the
positions.
next gen team, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, where you played
Yeah,
him almost in the left 10,
yeah,
literally. 'Cause it's a similar formation to Amarim's formation, isn't
yeah,
it? Where
kind of.
it's like a 3-4-2-1, and you kind of
Yeah,
played him, because I saw that you played him just behind, and he looked really good, and that was even higher than you'd expect the 8 to play, and he scored that game as well, didn't he?
yeah, he did score. I know it's the next gen, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the position. Like you can see, it's more natural. Like that's where he should be playing because he feels better in those positions. When where we played him, like he takes too many touches, and that's only normal in those
Yeah.
positions. And I don't think he's good at it. It looks very slow. Like when Locatelli does that for us, it looks a bit different, because he can switch
Yeah.
play and it's more dynamic. It looks more natural. When you look at Douglas Luiz in those positions, it doesn't look natural. You just can see he's out there and he's like, I'm not sure what to do with the ball, and that's not fair. If you ask other Juve fans, they will say, "Oh, he's slow, he's crap." That's a lie. That's an absolute lie because you can, even if you think he's not good enough, you cannot say he's crap based on the games he played for us because he didn't play. There's not enough tape to
Yeah.
say he's crap. But Juve fans are like that. We have a bad season, and somebody's gonna need to take the blame for it, and he's one of those guys taking the blame for it, even though he's not the guy that we should be blaming for a bad season.
Can we talk about the preseason? Because there was a few reports coming out that he didn't report for, I think it was the training camp. And then he did turn up or something and then ended up putting an apology out. I think it was this summer, wasn't it, that was happening? What was the story behind that? And, kind of the build up into it and what have you? Did you see those reports at all?
Well, he didn't show up for training camp. To be honest, I have no idea why he didn't show up. Because we agreed that he could leave. So and right now, not even like Juve insiders have a clue why he didn't show up for preseason. Like nobody has a clue. Even our new management persons came out and they said we agreed that we were working on deals. So they were all baffled. They were all like, what just happened? He came back, he apologized, got fined. But to be honest, I have no idea what happened because everybody knew he was leaving. Everybody knew, like it was well documented that the club was like, we're gonna work with you to get you a move, and we need to get the money, and that's about it. So I don't know who advised him. I don't know what sparked that decision. But I actually do. I cannot answer that question. He came back a week after. Like I said, apologized. Excuse me. Got fined. Club came out, said all good. He's coming with us on training camp because we are taking everyone with us on training camp. We're a family. Blah blah blah. And that's about it. And we never heard anything about it. But that was kind of a shock for everyone. Nobody saw that coming because it's not that the club was saying, like the Isaac situation, you're not leaving, even if they pay 100 and plus million for you. It wasn't like that at all. So I don't know, bad advice maybe from his management. I don't know.
Yeah, and there was a lot of stories about links with Jose Mourinho over in Turkey and things like that and what have you. And we were seeing links early doors as well when we started getting linked to them in January, that reports were coming out that he wanted to join either Man U or Man City, with the stories early on in January. But as this story's developed, everyone's been saying it's Forest and Forest only. So it is fascinating what you're saying, bro, because a lot of it feels like it's politics off the pitch, and Douglas Luiz on the pitch just didn't get the chance at Juventus, especially when you mentioned there that how many times did he play 2 games in a row? How, he didn't get the chance to play in his correct position and everything like that. So it's interesting to hear. I just got a couple of messages and super chats. So I just want to say thank you to Gary for the £2. Big up to you, Gary. We got 600 of you guys in here. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is giving you a good insight into what happened with Douglas Luiz over at Juventus. Please do me a massive favor. Make sure you've subscribed to Ali's channel. The link is in the title. Just go and click on that. And I'm sure one of the mods will chuck it in the chat for you lazy gits that can't be bothered to click on the title. To show him some love, make sure you've hit the like button as well. I've got to ask you about this, bro, because I've been asked it loads of times. Brett's brought it up here, and the relationship with his missus. Some people say they're broken up. I don't know what the story is with it, but did that play a role in it? Because they're a bit of a celeb couple, and was there a lot of talk about them as a couple at his time at Juventus, or was that kind of left to all these social media stuff at all?
I mean, actually, Douglas Luiz is not that much on social media, to be honest. Like his ex-girlfriend, I guess, is. Funny enough, he's been sold already to Como. Like that was just a package because I don't watch the women's team. I'm gonna be honest. I do know people who do watch it every week, and he played about 3 games for the women's team. She's not good, So she got already moved out to Como, but apparently they broke up. But that had nothing to do with that.
So she's not coming with him as part of a package deal to Forest. There you go, guys. No. Right? You can stop. She's over at Como. Sorry. Carry on.
But that I don't think that had any impact because he wasn't playing before. Apparently they broke up, I guess.
Yeah. Can we talk about the actual deal? Because we've been chatting about this for a few weeks now, and it's been closer than close can be, and the final stage is this and the final stage is that. For a long time, we were hearing that Juventus wanted 40 million euros. They were open to the idea of loan, but wanted it as an obligation, an option turning into an obligation. And within that, we believe there was a few back and forths with Forest. Forest wanted it to be based on getting Europe again next season. Juventus wanted it to be on X amount of games played and so on. It always felt like it was going to end up somewhere in the middle, but I was surprised when, I think, because Marinakis made a call on Monday, I think it was, which got things moving. And then suddenly the reports came out to say that, right, the deal is pretty much there in principle. It'll be 30 million euros, loan with the obligation to buy. It will be based on games played. So I think Juventus were able to get that one through. But obviously we've been talking for a while now, bro. And you were saying, like, I was getting the impression from you that you thought it was too low, obviously after spending 50 million euros on him. Do you think Forest kind of got the better end of the deal? Were you expecting more for the valuation from Luiz?
Yeah, I was expecting more. Like, apparently it's 32 and a half, 2.5 for the loan right now. And then 30 around 30, let's say, if he reaches, I don't know, X amount of game. According to Matteo Moretto, it's easily achievable. So I don't know what that means. Is that 10? Is that 15? We don't know. But also Forest have an option, even if he doesn't hit that games played, they can still activate that probably before, I don't know, June or something like that. But 32 and a half, we take a hit, and that's not good. Next season it's gonna look good on our books. This season, the wages are off, but it's still on the books, for about 8 million euros for us. So it's not fantastic. I cannot really blame the management. They just came in and they inherited a big mess with players overpriced, big wages, and they just need to figure a way out of it because we need to clean the books. We need to get wages off the books because we still want to sign players. O'Reilly from Brighton apparently is a replacement.
I'm surprised you guys are after him. Is he one you're interested in? Would that be because that was a lot of it? A lot of the talk was once Luiz moves, O'Reilly's the one coming in.
We wanted him last season because actually we wanted coal miners, and Atalanta were playing hardball. So and they wanted O'Reilly. So we went for O'Reilly, and then Atalanta were like, okay, you can get coal miners, and O'Reilly ended up at Brighton. So we were always interested in, even last summer. He's an attacking mid, so it kind of makes sense because the way we play, we need an attacking mid. But yeah, I mean, 32 and a half, I think that's great business for Forest. Like, looking at the fees Premier League clubs pay for certain players, like every day basically I wake up and I see a report and I need to put my glasses on because that cannot be right. That cannot be the price. When I see Madueke leaving for that amount of money and like Chelsea selling, or even
Crazy.
Liverpool selling some random youngsters. I'm like, how is that even possible? So based
Yeah.
on that, I'm like, we got our pants pulled down over here. But I mean,
Yeah,
we're
Liverpool
desperate.
just sold Bendo for 25 million.
Yeah, Bendo. I'm
Who was
like,
playing in the Championship last season. And technically, when you convert those euros into pounds, Forest have paid about the same price for a Premier
yeah,
League proven Douglas Luiz, which is okay. He's a little bit older at 27, but he's coming in to his prime, you know. So it's crazy some of the prices that are going on right now. So yeah, I know for it to be a good deal for one, it has to be a bad deal for the other. And
yeah,
I do agree with you. I think Forest have had the better deal on this. But I just want to kind of touch on a couple of the others that, because Forest and Juventus have been doing a lot of talking this summer. We had 3 players that were heavily linked. We had Tim Weah and Bangula. Both of them were almost like a package deal coming a couple of months back, and then they both ended up rejecting Forest. And then the other one I want to ask you about is Cambiasso, the left back, because there was a soft link towards him as well. He's a player I like, but he's very injury prone. Is he still staying? Because we still need a left back
no,
backup.
he's
What's
staying.
the current situation with him?
Yeah, he's going nowhere. He was close to City in January, like really,
Yeah.
really, really close. And then City, I don't know, somebody got injured, and they I don't know, I think they signed Nico Gonzalez, I think it was.
Yes.
They moved on, and they told Cambiasso, well, it's not going to happen. And after that, Cambiasso kind of struggled. But he's going nowhere. I mean, if you sell, like he played bad since January, but in preseason he looks like the player Man City wanted to sign for obvious reasons, because when he's on it, he's unstoppable. Like he's ridiculously, maybe defensively has some issues, but like going forward, like inverting, dribbling, like it's ridiculous when he's on it. So he's going nowhere. Like his agent he came out, he's signing a new deal as well. And I mean, we wanted about 50-60 million for him.
Yeah.
But he's going nowhere. Like he is one of those players the club cannot sell because the fans will actually riot.
Really, because the links was not like super strong, but they were there, you know. And I was like, I would take him. I know he's had quite a few injuries, hasn't he?
He had a weird foot injury, which he struggled with. But kind of was a one-off. He twisted it basically. It's not like chronicle. But yeah, he's going like him, Yildiz, Thuram, like. Yeah, if you lose any of those 3, we're in trouble. Bremer at the back, those 4 players and the goalkeeper, that's kind of the spine of the team. You cannot lose any of those.
The other player that got linked quite heavily, because I'll come on to Tim Weah in a second, was Vlahovic. Now, Vlahovic is obviously a big name. You can take him. Football. I knew you were going to say that, right? Because in the beginning, I was like, you know what, Vlahovic, I've seen quite a bit of him and what have you, but I didn't get to see him lately in Juventus. And everyone I spoke to from the Juventus side was like, take him. And then there was the whole wages things, and there was rumors that Juventus were slashing their asking price on him because his wages are so high. You've still got him at the moment. Does it look like he's staying?
I don't know who's going to sign him. He rejected everything. Allegri and Milan wanted him back, but they're signing Boniface right now. So that's kind of off as well. He doesn't want to go Saudi. He doesn't want to go to the Turkish league, and he has no other offer. So he's not going to play because Jonathan David is there and Kolmani is signing as well. So I'm not. He's not thinking about his career. Is he thinking about the money on 1 year left on his deal? He's getting 12 mil this season, so that's a lot of money. But he's not going to play. So I don't know where he's going to sign next season, because he will have absolutely no highlight reels, because he's not going to play. I'm one of his biggest fans. Like I was there until the end, but the end is brutal. Like the end is blooper reel, highlight reels missing, miscontrolling. Wow. Like it's got to a point where it's ridiculous. Like the fans booed him off, then he apologized. Like it's all over the place. Nobody wants him because he doesn't want to lower his demands, which is it's crazy because he's not going to play. I don't get it, but yeah, I mean, if you want him, you can take him. 20 million.
We just signed Callum Mwendu, bro. We're good on strikers right now. I got Taiwo Awoniyi if you need one back, so we can talk there.
No,
The two midfielders, Tim Weah and Mbangula. Now, Mbangula for me was a young talent. He looked like he had quite a bit about him. I wouldn't have minded him. I know he's moved on from you guys now, but Tim Weah, I wasn't a massive fan of. And I just didn't feel like he's what we needed. And that was the talks were coming around the time we were just selling Elanga. Elanga had just gone to Newcastle. I was trying to convince these lot in the chat that he wasn't a good replacement. I think he's still with you, isn't he, Tim Weah? Or has he moved on?
He signed for Marseille.
He's done as well.
He signed Marseille.
Yeah, so he rejected us. But could you just tell these lot, was he good or not?
He's not good. Like, it's like watching.
And by the way, guys, we haven't spoken about these players off air. I wanted Ali's raw response on it. So, not a fan.
You know when a player is bad? When people in the fan base say he can be useful in multiple positions, you know he's useless. Yeah. Like when a fan say he can play multiple positions, it means he cannot pin down one position. So he's kind of being average in every other position he's going to play. That's him. You know, he started off as a striker. I think his career, he played left back, right back, left wing. Like he played everything for us, and everything looked bad. Like he had a good month where he scored about 2 goals and played well, and that's about it. Like you can play him, you can put him out everywhere on the pitch, and he will work hard for 90 minutes. But there's no like he has a lot of speed, but he cannot use his speed. You would think he can, run behind the back lines and stuff like that. He can. And I'm just happy he's off the books. We actually made a profit on him. Unbelievable. But like happy he's gone, because I didn't hate him. Like he wasn't like a disaster, but he brings nothing to the table. He doesn't add anything. Let's say you finished 2 points off top 4 last season. He's not going to make up for those 2 points. That's not going to be the difference. So if you signed him, I don't think he was even going to play for you to start, to be honest.
That was my worry. And, it felt like almost a panic link just to replace Elanga and what have you. Can I ask you one final question? A player that isn't at Juventus, that Forest is still kind of on and off with, is a player from AC, Yunus Musa, the American midfielder there. I don't know if you've seen much of him, but what's your take on him, bro? Because for me, he looks very skillful, a good kind of dribbler with the ball, but just in that final third, I just feel like he gets lost and collapsed. But if someone who's obviously watching more Serie A than me, what's your take as an outsider looking at him?
I agree. Like this end product is, I don't like Napoli wanted to pay a lot of money for him, and then it collapsed. Yeah. And I cannot like at the time, like I have a lot of Milan friends. They couldn't believe Milan didn't take the money Napoli were offering. Like they couldn't believe it. I still cannot believe it. Like you said, he looks tacky. Yeah. But the end product is not there. It's like Conceição at Juve. He's tacky, he's pacey, but the end product is all over the place. Like one day it's 10 out of 10. The next day it's a 0 out of 10. And that goes from week to week, So I don't think that's a player you should be looking at, to be honest.
That's good. Just to kind of bring it back to where we are, bro. So how do you feel, back to Douglas Luiz, how do you feel he kind of fits back into the Premier League? Do you think because let's say he signs tomorrow, if the medical gets done, he's not signing tomorrow, but just for the sake of argument, do you think he's fit enough and ready enough to come straight into the team, or do you think he needs to build a bit of match fitness first? Because obviously he's kind of been in and out of your team for a year. Do you think he'll be ready?
Well, match fitness probably not. He missed 1 week of preseason, so that's that because he didn't show up. Match fitness, and the intensity in the Premier League is different, so I think he will probably need some more time to pick it up. Didn't play a lot last season, but he looks fit. Like I don't care what the media says. I can see all the pictures, the training videos, and he played for us in preseason. He's fit. It's not that he needs to lose like 5, like Higuain when he showed for preseason, for us at the time, and he needed about 2 weeks. to be fit, but match fitness, he's probably gonna, need to catch up. Now, the thing going for him, I think there's an international break after this week. And I don't think he will be called up for the Brazilian national team. So he has a good 2 weeks, I think, to work on that. I think I think he will be ready. I don't know if he's gonna play for you. Like, I don't know if he's gonna start for you guys immediately. I'm assuming he is, right? I think you signed him to start him. I'm assuming.
I feel like it's a tough one. It's kind of a good problem we've got at the moment, Ali, because we got Elliot Anderson in our 8 position now, and then Sangare, who he's had the whole thing about him a bit similar to Douglas Luiz, where there's fans who are like, oh my god, we paid 30 million for him, why is he not performed? He's had injuries, malaria, AFCON, and he's coming into his own now, and he's looking very good as a 6. A lot of our fan base are debating, do you start Sangare or do you start Douglas Luiz? And I'm saying, no. Douglas Luiz is going to be competition in the 8 for Elliot Anderson, because I don't want him in the 6. Now, maybe Forest misprofile him and try to play him in the 6, but at the moment, Forest played very well against Brentford. We won 3-1, and the midfield looks really good. So I kind of feel, and the reason I asked you that question was that maybe Douglas Luiz is going to need a week or 2 or 3 just to get his match sharpness back in and get used to Nuno's system and the pace of the Premier League. But how he fits in, I don't know. But I feel a guy who's done as much as he has in the Premier League will start in that team. But it's hard to envision, I can't say the word, displacing Anderson out of that position at the moment. And it's going to be a good headache for Nuno. So that's kind of where we are with the team. But we got Europe. We'll have the domestic cups as well. So there's going to be a lot of games potentially for Forest this season. And that's why we're looking to bolster the squad. But realistically, I think he's got to start. But I don't know who he replaces, bro. That's kind of the headache we're at the moment, because it feels like we're going on a bit of an upward trajectory.
Yeah, you're playing Europa League, so you need squad depth. So I think we will get his minutes. Maybe injuries, like, I'm not saying I hope somebody gets injured or something, but injuries happen throughout the season. So he will probably play games, if he does what he did at Villa, then like he's gonna start, I guess. Like, why wouldn't he start? Because, like he said, he was that season one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. I think like 12 goals, or 12 GA. Like, everything, like on set pieces, very important. With Chris Wood up top, I think that will help definitely.
And we need a set piece taker, because our dead balls are.
The thing is, preseason last season for us, the first thing I tweeted out, I was like, we finally have somebody who can take set pieces, and then he never played, and we were actually horrible at set pieces. So that's a sad part of it. But at the first preseason game he played, the first corner he took was money. Like, I was like, wow. The second one he took as well, like, very close. Like, I think it hit the post. I don't know who. I think it was Gatti who headed it like twice, and I was like, yeah, finally, because we have good players who can do something in the box. And then he never played, so that's that part. But he can take a set piece. I think most of his GA at Villa also came from set pieces as well.
Yeah,
and I know you guys at the time were complaining about it. And I'm like, look at us now. Nobody can take a set piece. Not Yildiz, not even our more skillful players can take a set piece. So when you say set pieces or pens, I'm like, it's part of the game. Like, if anyone is good at it, you take it. You just
if you win 1-0 and you've won with a penalty, I don't care, as long as you get those 3 points, bro. So that's where it's at. Bro, we've taken up so much of your time. I can't thank you enough. It's been so insightful. Is there anything we missed off that we needed to cover off that you can think of on Douglas Luiz?
No, that was kind of it. Short story at the club. Like I said, every Brazilian, I cannot recall a good Brazilian at the club. Alexandro, but he dropped off after we said no to a 100 million offer from Chelsea at the time. He dropped off, but yeah, other than that, Brazilians and Juve, the worst possible combination ever.
Well, that's good. That means you'll never go after Murillo from us.
Well, I would take him. I will take a shot
No,
at him
he's
because
Brazilian, bro. You don't want Brazilians. You just told me.
oh, we have Bremer. I forgot about Bremer, but he injured. Like he's probably like
Bremer's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's back after a year of a massive injury. So that's the only Brazilian that's kind of succeeding at the club. But other than that, they all flop, all of them.
Yeah, bring Del Piero out of retirement and Trezeguet and them.
I would
the
take
good old
I would
days.
take Yeah.
These are guys. I hope you found this insightful. I think Ali's been extremely honest and clear on kind of what happened with Douglas Luiz over at Juventus. So all I ask is that you go show him some love. Don't embarrass us now. Show him how nice a community we have here. Don't embarrass me, sorry, that is. Go and subscribe to his channel. The link's pinned in the chat. He does fantastic videos pretty much daily on there. He has fan call-ins, which I find really entertaining to listen to when he's got the fans on, especially when he figures out how to unmute them. You mute issues the other day I saw on the fan phone in. So make sure you go show him some love and subscribe there. I'm going to send you over to Daps, the Man City fan. Please spam in there 115. It will really wind him up. Make sure you've hit the like button as well. Ali, it's been an absolute pleasure, bro. And honestly, it's been really useful to get that kind of Juventus insights from him. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.